I just want to start off by saying, straight up, simply just this: Aang is a real nigga. Straight up, Aang is a real ass nigga, bro. You can't tell me nothing else. Aang is a real ass nigga. My boy was never afraid to stand on business. Straight like that. Aang is the realest nigga, one of the realest niggas of all the animation, TV, cards, anything. Aang stood on business every time he needed to. You feel me? Y'all said he was running. My boy was never running. He ain't ducking nah smoke. Real Negro. You feel me? But yeah, he's him. But anyways, as you can tell by the title, there's been some buzz going around recently about Avatar. The live action just dropped. I dropped a video on that. And I decided to, with all the buzz and all the hype going around, I was like, you know what? How about I rewatch the animated series? You know what I mean? Everybody's been talking about it. It's been hyped up. The live action one, and usually when they make a live action of something, it's usually of something that's really iconic, something that's amazing. They're not gonna remake something that just was kind of ass. You know what I mean? Like usually when they do a remake, it's of something that's a classic, either a classic, a cult classic, or just an amazing piece of art. So that kind of gave me a way to think, like, you know what, this is probably something I should look into a little bit more. Avatar: The Last Airbender, man. It was airing when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was born in '99. You feel me? Last of the '90s babies. We out here. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, it came out in the mid 2000s, and I remember when it was airing, I used to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Big time. Used to watch it a lot. And looking back, and as you can tell by the title, I haven't seen it in over 15 years until like a week ago. Looking back on it, I always knew it was a good show. Like, I always knew it was a good show. Like, I remember fondly the show. I can't really tell you specific plot points. Mostly what I did remember is like the characters. I remember the main cast. I always remembered Aang, Sokka, Katara, and Zuko. I always remembered them. Didn't remember Iroh too much. I remembered even Toph a little bit too. But that's about it, man. And I knew about the elements and all this shit like that. And like the plot, they say it every fucking intro. It's in the intro what the plot is. Other than that, man, I couldn't really remember too much. Not too many of the fight scenes, too many of the villains. I just kind of, it just didn't really ring a bell to me. I didn't watch it. It's been nearly 20 years since I've seen the show. So, it's kind of hard to remember straight. I haven't seen it in 20 years. But looking back on it, I'd always, have fond memories. Oh, yeah, that was a good show. It was a really good show. Not like an all-time great or nothing. Like, nothing's like, just like, oh, my gosh. Like, it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? Never really thought about watching it again. What really also drove me to watching it is I seen Nostalgia Critic talk about it. And he talked really highly of it, saying it's like, man, this is like one of his all-time favorite shows, like, ever. You feel me? So I was like, you know what? And Nostalgia Critic got ranked. You feel me? He's one of those niggas. You feel me? So he's him. So you got to respect what he says. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to look into it. And I still was kind of like, I'll look into it eventually. And then I seen a couple clips of it on YouTube of like scenes with Aang and Katara. And I was just like, man, like, this is some powerful shit. Like, man, I feel already emotionally invested. You watch a 30-second clip. So, I just threw it on. I just speed ran the series, and man, it's official, bro. Avatar: The Last Airbender is now probably one of my favorite shows of all time, man. It's in the top 3 for sure. It's in the top 3, maybe top 2. I had Dragon Ball Z and Samurai Champloo up there, if you were wondering, but it's up there, bro. That shit was fucking amazing, man. Like, it had around roughly 60 episodes, so that didn't do it any justice, so I was kind of upset. But yeah, man, let's just dive into it, man, because I don't want to have y'all here forever. But there's been a million videos on YouTube talking about Avatar's channel devoted to it and the whole shit. So probably not gonna say nothing that y'all haven't heard. But I just wanted to get my thoughts on it, man. I feel like I had to, man. I just thought about it. I was like, should I make a video? And I was like, man, I have to, bro. And man, just beginning to end, man, just the evolution. Let's just start with the world of Avatar, man. Just I mean, it doesn't even matter where you start, man. There's nothing this show didn't do fucking right, bro. I mean, it's basically pretty much a perfect show. And I know it's kind of hard to say that, but it's basically a perfect show. Even the filler episodes, there's a couple filler episodes in here, they have impact. They have meaningful characters that are gonna, come back around. They have lessons. Every episode basically has a lesson, something to learn, something to reflect on. And that's one of the biggest things I realized after watching the show, how I knew it was one of them ones. After watching the show, man, I felt like I became a better person. You feel what I'm saying? Like I really learned shit. A lot of lessons, for lessons that kids need to know and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these lessons sometimes need to be refreshed amongst ourselves, us adults. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a good refreshing reminder to value things and to always have this this humble approach and have this perspective on things, the way they talk about things. And it's just it's really refreshing, man, to hear some of these lessons you may or may not know, but and I learned some things I didn't know, man. There's some powerful stuff in here. The king of quotes was Iroh, Uncle Iroh. I mean, he's a hood favorite. You know what I'm saying? He invited to every cookout. Everybody fuck with Uncle Iroh, and understandably why. I would always hear, before I started watching, I always heard people glowingly talk about him, and I see why. I mean, every time that nigga talks, it's straight up wisdom, straight up sauce, it's straight up facts. Like, you got to grab a pen and paper every time he open his mouth, because he's saying some real shit, man. And it's just straight wisdom, man. And RP to Mako. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing, man. It's just an amazing experience. But yeah, like I said, I felt like I became a better person after watching, man. There's a lesson in every episode, and it's just really enjoyable. And one of the biggest things to me, what makes the series great, is you gotta have good characters. Your characters have to have impact on you. Like, you gotta have relatable, good characters. You know what I mean? And every one of these characters is relatable in their own way. And there's relatable factors with him, like, not being ready, not being prepared to face certain challenges in your life, knowing that eventually you're gonna have to, mature and face the adversity. There's big things coming, and not being ready, and not, being able to handle the criticism, and people are looking up to you, having people count on you, and you still feel like you're just not ready, and it's the weight of that, and having to decide between right and wrong, and having all these, you know what I mean? It's just really relatable character. Sokka, you know what I mean? It's a goofy guy who feels like, he might have let his parents down, or let his dad down, or, you know what I mean? He's always trying to, he might feel like he's the odd one out, and feels like, his peers are ahead of him. Or, he's kind of like a regular, Joe Schmo, has nothing special about him. He's just trying to find his way. And you have Zuko, who's lost, you know what I mean? There's great, crazy, like, themes and character arcs that you see each character grow. Every character grows and changes, and you could do, like, this journey you ride with every character along the way, and you see the growth, you see them growing, you see them changing, and all these experiences, how they impact them, man. It's like an amazing freaking book, and you're just, from page 1 to the last page, you're just like, man, this shit is crazy, bro. You see them, how they grow stronger mentally, physically, with their mind, how they get wiser, and it's just like, man, it's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? It's just like a masterpiece, man. It's just like, man, when you see these characters grow, like Katara, when she isn't really, like, she's was a novice waterbender. She was the only waterbender in her tribe, didn't really know much about waterbending, and then she meets Aang, and she's like, yo, this is my opportunity, like, I can't squander it, like, this might be my chance. And and they end up traveling the world, and that, toward the end of the series, she's like the best waterbender on the fucking planet. Like, she can do everything, a bloodbend. I started with spoilers here, but I'm assuming y'all watch it. If you ain't watched it, go fucking watch it. Go watch the fucking show, man. Just watch it, man. It'll make you a better person, man. Not even just that. It's just refreshing, man. It's just one of those shows you have to see, man. Every person needs to experience this show, man. It's just a journey I think everybody should go on, man. It's just one of those shows, man. You feel like you just really feel like you're a part of it. You know what I mean? It's just, the world building is so good, and it's how they build up this, back to the themes, all the themes that they have of finding yourself, finding your identity, finding who you are, choosing right from wrong, what's right, what's wrong, questioning if you're worthy, you know what I mean? They're dealing with war and, poverty and hunger and all these things, and sickness, and it's just crazy, man. It's just, environmental issues, and it deals with all these heavy topics. And this is supposed to be a kid show, man. But this show's for everybody, man. I don't care if you're 5 years old, 95 years old. You gotta watch it, man. My favorite character is probably Katara, man. Katara, she just was that motherly vibe she brought. Made the experience like really heartfelt. Katara and Iroh, they brought like the sense of heart. Like they're really like the hearts of this show, in my opinion. They just really always kept things together. It was like the glue, you know what I mean? And they always kept things on a steady path and they didn't let things get too out of control. And just, Katara was like that family kind of heartfelt, to Aang, and Iroh to Zuko was kind of what Katara was to Aang, just kind of guide and loving and, always had their back. And, just the more I think about the show, the more stuff I learn about it, man. Like I'm going to rewatch it. I don't know when. I just want to give some time to just let it settle, but I just feel like the more you think about it, the more you watch, the more you learn, the more things you discover, and how to you know what I mean? Like, it's just genius, masterful writing. The characters are all awesome, man. The characters are clean as fuck. Aang is him. Like I said, he stood on business when he got to his final battle. It's like the last episode is like a straight up cinematic feature film. It's fucking amazing, dude. The animation is top tier. The shit is so fire. It's just, you see this whole build up. It was building up, getting closer, watching these characters grow, get stronger, get wiser, you know what I mean? Learn to go through all this adversity, get stronger as a team, and then get to the final battle. And it's just like, man, this is everything we've been building up for. Like, this has to be like, you got to go out with a bang, man. And that's what they fucking did, man. I mean, you can't end the show better than what they did, man. It's the animation, seeing Aang, which is Avatar State and all this shit. It just was amazing, man. It was crazy, bro. You know what I mean? It's not like there's like some freaking, too many like twists or anything. Like, it's just an amazing journey, man. And I knew when I was watching the show, I really wanted to pace it. I just couldn't, but I just like, the closer I got to the end, I was like, man, I really want to enjoy every single episode. Even the filler, man. I just wanted to enjoy every single one. But every episode mattered. Every episode had a lesson. Every episode tied into, the future episodes in some way, man. And just an amazing show, man. Like I said, from the world bending to the animation to the characters, you know what I mean? The story, it's just, everything was just perfect, man. The lessons, the life lessons. And it's just like, man, like, I can't believe I went, like I said, the last time I seen it probably was like in '08, man. It was like 15 years. Like, I was like 8 years old. I went through a long stretch without watching it, man. So it's been a minute. So I just decided to rewatch it, and I just was like, man, I don't know why. I should have been done this, man. So I feel like if I would have watched it in, a couple years ago when I was at dark places and dark points in my life, man, this show would have really helped me. You know what I mean? And it's, it sucks that the show's over, but but man, the show it's impactful, and it's just amazing, man, top to bottom. I have nothing bad I can say about this show. I love the characters. Aang is him. Katara's the fucking best. Sokka's, that needed comic relief, but he's not too good. He's goofy, but he's not, he's still very valuable to the team. Toph is her. She's tough, wild child, does her own thing. You know what I mean? She's kind of like, the tough chick, wild card kind of, that does things her way. Just everything just balances out. The chemistry between the characters are good. The voice acting is amazing. I mean, the voice acting is awesome. Like, Katara's voice actor is amazing to me. Like, she played that, couldn't play it any better. And Aang's voice actor was awesome. Oh, like, that kid did his fucking thing playing Aang, bro. He just, every time Aang laughed and smiled, it just was so nostalgic and brought you back. Iroh was amazing. Every time he spoke, it was just a quote. You know what I mean? One of the biggest quotes I say from Iroh I loved was when he was talking to him. He had a million of them, but one of my favorite ones was Zuko was like, he was talking with Zuko, and Zuko was like, talking about shame. And Iroh was like, Zuko, you shouldn't be ashamed. And Zuko was like, I'm not ashamed. Like, I'm the proudest. I'm super proud. I'm proud. I'm a prince. I'm proud as I'll ever be. And Iroh was like, nah, bro, straight up. Like, pride isn't the opposite of shame, but it's source. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, like, that's some deep shit. Like, he ain't lying. Like, he's like, true power within yourself comes with humility, not pride. Pride is what starts shame. if you didn't have pride, you wouldn't be shameful of nothing. So that pride is what jumpstarts that. So it was just, man, amazing, man. It's an amazing show, and it's a show I will be rewatching. I don't know how soon, but I will. You know, I have people tell me to watch Core. I'm thinking about it. I've seen a couple of clips of it. The vibe doesn't feel there. It doesn't feel the same. I don't know what y'all think, if I should watch it. The vibe feels a little different to me, man. I don't know if I'm going to check it out or not. But yeah, man, it's a straightforward video here, man. I just thought I had to get my thoughts on it, man. It just was, man, that was an experience, bro. You know, and yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you watched it, watch it again. It's been a while, like, for me, not seeing it after all these years. I'm glad I watched it. But hey, man, thank y'all for watching this video. Already been going on way too long. Appreciate y'all. Please like, subscribe. Much love to everybody. Stay blessed, guys.